All right, I was not even going to talk about this because I hate participating in the drama. I hate the circular firing squad that often builds on the left. But it's really important that my audience know what's going on. So I am going to talk about it. I was named in an article in Wired yesterday. And the article is about a so called dark money group on the left called Chorus. And I'm named in the article along with other creators as being part of the group. And since this article came out, I've heard from a bunch of you. David, did you sell out? David, is the DNC telling you what to say? How could you do this to us? I knew back in 2021 when you had the following to say that you must have been getting paid by someone, and here's the proof. And I was not even going to give this the time of day, but my relationship with you, my actual audience, is the most important thing. And so I decided to do this segment. I also was told that other creators, like a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker, were covering this in ways that don't reflect the reality of the situation and are perpetuating falsehoods about what is and isn't going on. Now, I can't speak to the motives of the people that wrote the article or those that are reacting to it. I can't get in their heads. All I can do is tell you what's going on, and then you can judge and you can make an assessment of me. Now, I also want to mention, I'm aware that many of the people I'm hearing of aren't even part of my audience. They're doing well, now I'm unsubscribing, and they mostly were never subscribed. And so I'm aware of that, but it doesn't matter because I want to make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. For years I've been saying the left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The left needs to fund independent creators the way that the right does. The right has won even arguably presidential elections because they're organized with regard to online and independent media. They're killing us. We've been so behind. And this kind of support for creators is exactly what I've been advocating for. Now, the article is riddled with inaccuracies, and they're not minor inaccuracies. First and foremost, this group has nothing to do with the DNC. People writing saying the Democratic Party is telling people what to say. At its base, the group has nothing to do with the DNC, period. Number two, I do not get clearance for anything I say. I do not run interview questions by anyone at Chorus. I don't tell Chorus when I'm going to be doing an interview. Not a single segment I have done, not a single question I've ever asked a guest has anything to do with Chorus. They don't tell me what to talk about. They don't tell me who to interview. They don't tell me how to cover a story. There are no restrictions of any kind on my content. I've never covered a story because Chorus suggested I do it. I've never not covered a story because Chorus suggested I not do it. There is no content relationship of any kind. So what does Chorus do? They run technical trainings, how to produce content, how to make your operation more efficient. How do you take a small shop of 1, 2, or 3 people and put content out on multiple platforms the way I've been doing successfully for decades? They set up mentorship relationships between larger creators like me and small up-and-coming creators who are looking to do content, which is something I've said for years we need to be doing. They do advocacy trainings. They do media trainings. How do you deal with adversarial media, reporters with bad intentions who contact you? They do legal training so we understand how is the right-wing machine potentially going to come after us? How do you organize your business to be protected? That's what they do. And I want to make this really clear, and I know that 99% of my actual audience knows this. If this was a group or an organization that required me to get permission before saying things, or fed me talking points, or told me, David, talk about this and not about that, or anything like that, I would never be part of it, period. Anyone who knows me would know that. Now, I'm one of the larger creators in the current cohort. I want to help others grow. I want to mentor people. I want to grow the left media space. That's something I've been advocating for years. And now the circular firing squad is getting going. You look at TikTok, you look at these different platforms, people going after each other, most of it based on misunderstandings or misreporting about what's happening. Now, let me go to another aspect of this. I've seen messages like, oh, David, when you said X in 2024, that must have been because they told you to. Oh, David, this explains your take on Bolivia from 2017. Now I get why you said that. Or when you did that interview in 2022, it must have been because Chorus told you to. Even if you wrongly believed that I was now completely compromised by my participation in this group, this thing is brand new. It's like 8 weeks old or something like that, maybe 10 weeks old, something like this. So the revisionism of going back and going, now I understand why David, not only are they not directing content today, this thing is brand new. So that's just like impossible. One other thing I want to mention. The article identifies my friend Brian Tyler Cohen as the co-founder of this group. And now he's being attacked as well. His motives being impugned. Brian worked on this as a volunteer. He has spent hundreds of hours for not a penny on this project, solely because he, like me, believes we need this type of organization on the left. They're killing us on the right. He doesn't need to be doing this for himself. He's trying to do this to build up left-wing content creators, as am I. And so the framing of Brian as some kind of villain in this entire thing, it's just farcical and pathetic. So the bottom line is we need more of this on the left, not less. We need more organization and infrastructure and people understanding, how do you build a content machine? How do you produce a podcast? How do you grow an audience? How do you distribute it? How do you organize your day? What's your YouTube setup like? The article is designed to attack and degrade. I can't speak to the motives of the people behind it, so I won't even speculate. My involvement is as I've described it here. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's up to you to decide whether you trust a particular creator. It's up to you to decide what sort of structural organization the left should pursue. But what I can tell you is that the circular firing squad is how the left loses, when we start turning each other over what at the end of the day. So I'm sick of the losing. I'm trying to win. Join me if you also are trying to win. And then maybe we can have some better outcomes in future elections.